Hello, hello, hello. Very good morning to everyone. Apa khabar? We are heading into game week 25. Game week 24 just over for I think the last one day. We are recovering from game week 24, but now it's time for game week 25 action. With me, Azmin. How are you? How's your morning?
Morning. Okay, all good. Obviously, all midweek matches. Trying to wake up for all three is not a good idea.
Okay. Uh, First of all, good morning to everyone who joined our stream today. Welcome. Um, well, it will be interesting, yeah, because I think this is the beginning of very crucial planning. We already know this week there will be one or two teams will be playing double game week, which is Manchester United and Brighton. Then there will be a big double game week with 8 teams playing twice in game week 26. And then recently announced in game week 27, Burnley also will play twice. So I think it's crucial, to plan really critical for the next few weeks. And this could be our defining moments of the season.
Yeah, so it really is important to look into the fixtures and determine and obviously what we have, if we saw in game week 24, you people could argue that you don't have to ignore a double game week where there's only two teams playing, but a few teams playing. But then we saw in game week 24 that the right picks to go for was Burnley defenders for that double game week, and so it's not irrelevant. It's still relevant. It's just you need to find the right players. Yeah, even if there's only a few teams playing.
Okay, let's jump to our agenda for today. Okay, we can see here, definitely we are going to look really close to assets of Manchester United and Brighton, man. Okay, let's go quickly our team review for game week 24, man. You go first.
All right, so I scored 65 points, which caused the rank drop. Uh, I guess you could argue not having Jota was the big difference between my team and other teams. So Jota finally returned. I was still okay when he scored one, but then he scored two, which really hurt my team. Yeah, and caused pretty much it was because of Jota and on because you have KDB who returned, Bowen who returned, which is fine. But Firmino unfortunately wasn't involved. He ended up scoring zero because he got carded and was substituted early. I knew
Yeah.
that when he was carded, was almost likely to become an early substitution target. Um, DCL was didn't he did started on the bench and failed to get on, but I felt that was more due to Everton injuries being
Yeah.
sustained. So
Yeah.
they were forced into some early substitutions, and unfortunately, and maybe that DCL wasn't really ready to play, and that's why for this third sub, he didn't. For Rogers, for Lampard's third sub, he wasn't the third sub that came on. Um, Other than that, I'm not too upset. Although Digne getting 1 point is frustrating in that, but that was a high scoring three
Yep.
all match.
It's a thriller,
Uh,
3-3 against League.
the annoying one was Saka, and that
Mm.
was purely because Martinelli was sent off, so they had to sacrifice and to someone to shore up the defense and help keep that clean sheet, which they did. So I guess you could say that I was saved. My Ramsdale clean sheet was saved, but at the expense of Saka being substituted. So it's frustrating, but it is what it is.
Yep. Ramsdale continue to perform in 6 point plus, I don't know, 2 bonus point, 1 save point.
Yeah.
He's really good. Okay. Let's go to my team. Like Azmin mentioned, the difference between our team is, I think, Jota. De Gea continue to fail me. I don't know, another just two points. But with double game week coming this week, I think it's a bit ridiculous if they say I make he's out from my team. He will stay. Trent, Cancelo, like everyone has. Digny 1 point, same like Azmin. KDB, captain. I think it's just between KDB and Bowen. Both actually scored the same point, so it's good. 11 points each, and KDB got 22 points. Jota got the unusual 16 point. We already know in terms of stats, he's that high in terms of XG and so on. But in the end, he produced the good in Premier League instead of other competition. 16 points. I'm glad of that. Rafinha 2 points. Sadly, he did not involve in anything in that 3 goals against Aston Villa. He got just 2 points. So a bit frustrating, but I still will keep him in the mind of game week 26, where Leeds will play twice. Gray, like Azmi mentioned, only 1 point. He injured quite early in the game, like 20 minutes and so on. Quite frustrating because we expect Everton to produce something against Newcastle, but in the end, Newcastle who actually defeat Everton by 3-1, I suppose. Then Antonio continued to fail his owner on only 2 points. And the biggest one, Ronaldo, he is on the bench and just coming in for 1 pointer. So I think that sum up my week. I will not comment so much. 71 still higher than average points of 50, which is inside the game week 24. Slight increase, I'll take that and move forward for game week 25, May.
Yeah, so 71 got you a rank increase of 1k, which tells you there's quite a lot of teams who are doing well, who did well around your
Yeah.
rank.
Yeah.
There's a lot of argument on my personal, on some of my groups about Antonio, as to people should have ditched him earlier,
Okay.
But the question there is that even though Antonio isn't performing, the question is, who is your replacement then? Because we've seen our forwards. If Antonio is, although he's still the top scoring forward in the game, no one else is really performing consistently. A lot of people have King or Dennis and all these other strikers who just haven't performed DCL. So, and Ronaldo, of course, therefore premium price players, people like Lukaku, all these are not performing either. So take 2 points, either that or move to a 4-5-1 formation, because there really isn't much to choose at the moment. For the forward line, you got Broja who did well last week, but can he do it again?
I think my personal note, Broja is the best value striker now because he's been performing of late, even though he played a tough team.
Yeah.
That one, if let's say if you want to move to him, but Southampton did not have any double game week for the next three game weeks, 25, 26, and 27. That's the thing. So, but maybe I don't know. Whitehouse can come into our mind because Burnley has 2 double game week, which is in 26 and 27. The one thing that deter me from thinking of him bringing him this week is because Burnley versus Liverpool. So that's something to share with everyone.
Okay. So
all right, let's go to game week 25 fixture, which is we can see here. Just to remind everyone, you can see here 10 fixture, but there'll be 2 teams missing playing game week 25 main, which is Chelsea and Arsenal. Because Chelsea is playing in Club World Club this weekend, final against Palmeiras. So be careful. Okay, if let's say you're thinking about bringing in Arsenal asset this week, because they are not playing,
Got it.
right?
Yeah.
So the fixture will be tonight, 8:30 early kickoff is Manchester itself against high flying Southampton. They had a really good result against Spurs in game week 24. Then at 11 p.m, Brentford versus Crystal Palace. I think Everton versus Leeds. That's looks like exciting for a lot of goals. And then Watford versus Brighton. Brighton is another team who double this week. Although Brighton actually will have 2 away games. Manchester will have 2 home games. Then at 1:30 a.m, Norwich versus Man City. A lot of rumors that Man City might rotate his players because of a lot of fixture coming up. Then on Sunday itself, 10 p.m, we have 3 fixture. Burnley versus Liverpool. A lot of attention on Salah right now. Newcastle versus Villa. Newcastle already have back-to-back win, I think. But Aston Villa is not an easy team. Spurs versus Wolves. Okay. And then we end up on 12:30 p.m. AM with Leicester versus West Ham. And then in midweek, Manchester will have Brighton. Okay, so now let's put our attention, because we already know, on Manchester United. What is the latest team news from Rangnick and also Southampton camp, Min?
All right. So for Manchester United, pretty much most of them are fit. I think Eric Bailey, his ankle is still off. Then I guess with Fred, it was still a COVID issue, so he's not gonna be around. Yeah, pretty much this tweet covers everyone who is unlikely to be around. Then other than that, Alex Telles, who was not ready for because of COVID-19, so he'll be ready. So whether or not he'll come into the starting lineup, we're not sure. It depends, because again, it is recovering from COVID-19. He may be ready, but he may still be feeling the effects of COVID-19. So it's quite likely that the Wan Bissaka and Shaw will still Dalot and Shaw, I should say, should still start in the fullback positions. For Southampton, again, all the key players are okay. Um, if you look from his press conference, the main thing is Redmond. He's not going to be ready. From again, similarly, an ankle problem. However, Livramento is back. Our favorite, well, maybe not so favorite anymore. Favorite
The
bench
forgotten
option.
man.
Yeah. So he's back. So he could play. Um, so that will be of good use, especially one thing we have to bear in mind, that right now for the next couple of game weeks, there's going to be a lot of rotation, especially for those teams who are involved in the Champions League. So you're gonna have to accept that that's going to happen, so which is important to have your bench ready and good to go.
Okay. Just quick news from, if let's say from Ronaldo, we know that he's been benched from the last game. Is there any worry that Ronaldo might not start again this game?
Okay, yeah, he should still start, given that Manchester United didn't win last game week. Not to say that him starting may have had the effect it desired, but then if Rangnick wanting to shape things up, then it's inevitable that Ronaldo will start this game. And one thing we saw for the Manchester United game, which was starting to be something of a worrying trend, they're doing well first half, and in the second half they seem to slow down a bit, and is that because they're still not used to Rangnick's preferred style of play, and that's causing them to not be able to get the results they want. But what this means is that fitness will be a concern, and that's why Ronaldo should start. Yeah, and we don't know he'll start the second game. Is really dependent. But I expect to see both. I expect to see CR7 return to the starting lineup. So no worry, at least for the Southampton match.
Another high traffic is Bruno Fernandez. A lot of managers getting him for this week. I suppose he's okay in terms of playing for both game.
Yeah. The thing with Bruno Fernandez is there's no viable alternative in his position except for the most closest player, and this is gonna cause controversy, is if this comment is probably Jesse Lingard playing in that, because that's pretty much the position that he played when he was playing for West Ham. Yeah. So, but you can't see it, right? You can't see that happening. It will most likely be Bruno Fernandez to start there. Yeah. So he's maybe he gets subbed off, or Jesse Lingard comes in. But even we saw when Jesse Lingard come in, it wasn't for Bruno anyway. So I think Bruno should start both games too.
All right. What do you think will happen in this game? It will be high scoring game. Or
see, this is the problem, you see, because Southampton got Spurs last game week. Yeah, and it was clear that Spurs were not able to handle that high press play that Southampton were playing. Yeah. Now, theoretically, Hasenhuttl is a disciple of Rangnick's tactics of the high press. Yeah, so you could argue that Rangnick will know what Southampton are going to do. However, can Man U have the personnel to be able to stop that? Obviously, people will want to have Manchester United players because they're bearing in mind the high scoring games. They scored 9-0 in history previously. So they will still have it, but it's different circumstances, different manager, and so we'll see.
okay.
So Pogba had the impact. His last game in the last week. So he should start again. But but is it good enough? Because for me the problem is still in that midfield. With Matic's not going to be around, so it's pretty much McTominay and Pogba again in that midfield pivot, which for me is not optimum. And Southampton is definitely going to score. Sorry, De Gea, but I can't see Southampton not scoring in this game.
Yeah. So I think it could be a high scoring game. It could go either way, man. I think I would not be surprised if, let's say, Southampton win this game. Okay,
well,
let's go to
I called Burnley winning last game week, but then I was wrong. But the problems I see at Man U are still the same, and which is why I agree it's possible that Southampton win.
Okay, all right, let's go to the next game, which is Branford versus Crystal Palace. Man, any news on the likes like Christian and Eriksen? Will he play this game?
Yeah, so for Eriksen, it's been clear that he's going to take a while for him to be ready. So he's not gonna based on the press conferences and what he said, he's pretty much not ready. Everyone else is okay. I think the main problem for last week was Tony, who wasn't available, but he should be available now.
Okay.
And it was cute to see that. In the Branford squad, Mbuemo didn't play either last against Manchester City. So the common feeling there was that they just writing off this game for Manchester City.
I think so. That's my feeling also.
Yeah. So I thought that Manchester City are gonna score a cricket score here. But then when I saw Manchester City's game, they were in second gear for most of the game. They felt we'll just get a victory and not exert too much and save our players for the because it's going to be really busy for the Champions League. So it was frustrating because I had triple Manchester City. Yeah, but for some teams that's what they're going to do. They're just going to conserve the energy. So anyway, for Brentford, they should be okay. I think Tony should be returned. They what Frank said with Ivan Toney is that he'll be assessed again
Okay.
on Saturday morning, which will be in about a few hours time, UK time. But I expect him to start. Okay, so Crystal Palace. So the main thing, Chico Kuyate is back. So that means all the AFCON contingent is already back and ready, good to go. And we saw it was we saw last week Zaha winning scoring and then missing
Same
penalty.
penalty.
But this it should be it's really Palace's game to lose. They got a lot of attacking options. Edouard should start this one. He was benched, and I think that was a mistake by Vieira not to start him. Yeah, I
Okay.
think so he'll definitely start, and I
Uh,
think he's.
should Edward Honor be worried in terms of his minutes coming to this double game week next week?
Um,
Keep outside.
it,
I don't know. I think keep.
I yeah, I think he should keep. Yeah, and I wouldn't be. I mean, people can even bring them in because I think
Would
that
you still
benching.
would we still favor to bring him in? Since you know that he might, his minutes might be diminished.
Yeah. It's just that Palace didn't get the result they wanted last game week, and Edward didn't start. So I felt that if Edward manages to start and scores in this one, which I expect him to do, then I think he will continue to start from now on until
Fair.
until
But
there's an issue.
if let's say you give me an option, both
Yeah.
are priced at 6.5. Weghorst and Edward. I think Weghorst has the cutting edge now since his minutes. I think better than Edward. I feel lah.
Yeah. So you're right in the sense that Weghorst will he's probably locked that forward starting spot because without Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes nowhere as good. Weghorst as he was a new signing and he should continue to start.
Yep.
Okay, so you think Weghorst might be the better pick. I'm not so sure myself.
Okay, fair. I think let's go to the next game, which is Everton and Leeds. Man, I heard some injury in Everton camps, and I'm not sure whether Branford is ready for this game.
Everton's terrible. I mean, is it? It's a question now with the those injuries really impacted a squad, or is there a problem? Because we saw Everton winning against Brentford, but we in the FA Cup, but again that was the FA Cup, and where some teams have a different set of priorities, and it was Brentford, and then they proceeded to lose here. In terms of injuries, so those who got injured, they are which is Yerimina and Demarai Gray, so both of them are still going to be out. The biggest question is deciding whether or not Calvert Lewin will start this one. Yeah, so it was glaring the fact that he didn't come in as the third sub. While when Everton needed goals, tells you that he wasn't really fit, even though he was on the bench. For me, I'm obviously hoping he'll start because otherwise I'll run out of options in terms of my team. Yeah, and we need, and for FPL players, we need our bench big time. Okay, for Leeds, so the same players who weren't available are not available for this game. Now for Leeds, it's frustrating. I know we saw Rafinha, not getting involved, and this has happened again. It's happened before. The other day where Harrison scored a hat trick, Rafinha got maybe one assist or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like with all the other Leeds players coming back into goal scoring form. So you got Daniel James previously it was Harrison, now Daniel James was the top FPL scorer with 2 goals in the previous match. So it looks like they're spreading FPL points around and not so much reliant on Rafinha anymore. So this is not so great for Rafinha owners. Having said that, is this a reason for us to sell Rafinha? Probably not, because he might still be involved. If Leeds are scoring goals, you would hope that Rafinha be involved. Although it was
Yep.
frustrating for those who watched the match. You saw Rafinha wasn't really getting close to scoring any goal except for one, until the last towards the end. Yeah, but it's not a reason for you to sell Rafinha, but it is frustrating, and this will continue to happen.
Okay. To Demarer Gray owner like me, since he's injured, I think the plan is, you can change him to another player. My thinking was Martinelli ahead of double game week 26, but he's red carded and likely to play only one game, so I have to change my plan. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I think
about.
yeah. Plus, I think Everton, they don't have a double game week, right?
Yep, Everton doesn't have any.
So it's the same with Leeds as well. Leeds,
Uh,
however,
Leeds
Leeds have
26 double. Yep, but
yeah, they do
it's
have,
Leicester United and Liverpool lah. It's tough.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, maybe not
Yep.
bringing him in.
Okay, man. Let's go to the next match, which is Watford versus Brighton. Watford has been more organized under Hodgson right now. They only lost 1-0 against West Ham, but I think this the opportunity, if there is anything that Watford can do, is against Brighton at home this week. And how about Brighton assets? Because a lot of people are eyeing for their assets for this week.
Okay, so let's talk a lot about Brighton first. Firstly, Trossard should be back because he previously contracted COVID-19,
Yeah.
but he should be okay. And plus they didn't play anyway. So the main thing with Brighton is that the advantage they have going on for this weekend is because they didn't play midweek, so they're fresh compared to Watford. So and so it could look good for Brighton assets, but obviously people are more keen on Manchester United because the problem with Brighton's double game is they both away matches against Watford and Manchester United, whereas Manchester United's are both home, which is quite a glaring difference for me. Having said that, I would recommend purely because Watford played and Brighton didn't. I wouldn't fault anyone for going for Brighton assets instead because I think they have a good chance. And Dunk is back as well, so Dunk should be able. Obviously they lost to 3-1 in the FA Cup. I think it was.
Spurs.
Spurs. To Spurs. Yeah, but that should not deter people from picking up Brighton assets if they want to be a bit different. Yeah, we saw 2 weeks ago that Burnley was the team to get for the double game week 24. So Brighton could do a Burnley this week.
Okay. Just a quick one. I mean, if let's say you want to bring in any Brighton asset, who should we prioritize? I mean, who's the one that you bring in?
Okay, so this is an interesting question. Trossard as a attacking midfielder is always a good option. I have Trossard myself, so I'm a bit biased there. Mopé has been doing quite decently this season. Even when he's also scored when coming in as a sub. So I know there's a lot of history from last season, how he's been a major disappointment whenever people pick him. But this season
I
he's
picked
done
him last season. Yeah, he's been disappointing.
There you go. Then Cucurella is quite he's quite attacking as well, if people want to consider. Obviously, in terms of the ex-lively stat, Lamptey is great. However, there's always a worry that Lamptey, again, they're managing, making sure because of his injury issues, he didn't, he doesn't start as often as we would like, despite his potential for FPL points. So there's a risk there. I've seen Veltman come up on quite a few teams as well as a good filler. And for people trying to get to Ronaldo and or Bruno. I do like the Dunk option. I've always been a Dunk fan, and his threat from set pieces, you can't underestimate that. And I think Watford are not great against set pieces, and Manchester United are vulnerable from set pieces as well, especially when you have someone like Dunk. However, will they might even get a clean sheet against
Yep.
Watford. So I don't
Yeah.
I can't deny that can happen.
Okay. So in terms of Watford, Dennis King are all good, man.
Yeah, they're all good. Whether or not they'll score is another question. So the Roy Hodgson effect didn't last very long, did it? So they won in the FA Cup, but everything went back down to earth against West Ham. I actually thought that Watford would be able to get at least score a goal against West Ham because of some of the personnel that they were missing, but then Fabianski did come back in the match, who we weren't sure whether or not he was absent. So it doesn't look good. However, for Watford, there is a new option, which is Ismail Issa. He's fit after he came back for AFCON, so he should be ready. And if that's the main go-to player for Roy Hodgson, if he wants to shake things up, then Sa should definitely get a start.
All right. Okay, we move on to the next game, which is Norwich versus Man City. Norwich last game had 1-1 against Crystal Palace, with Zaha missing the penalty. If not, Norwich will lost the game. And Man City are on high flying. Although there's a lot of rumors that I think these the matches that if let's say Pep want to rotate games, this could be the one, because they will have a lot of games coming up, important games. Midweek they will play Champions League game against Sporting Lisbon, and then midweek against Spurs. So I don't know, that is the one that managers need to pay attention. What do you think, Min? Yep. The current year.
So it's okay. Let's just deal with Norwich first. So Josh Sagan, who remember 2 matches ago, he scored 2 goals, and it's a cheap forward option. But again, I doubt that anyone is going to bring in Norwich players at this point. Yeah. So even if City are looking to rotate, you still wouldn't move to bring in Norwich players. Plus the fact that they don't have a double next week, and they're facing Liverpool anyway. So Manchester City and Liverpool back to back, those are bad options for you to go for a Norwich player. So so I'm not going to really go through the injury news. I really don't think you should be picking anyone. But for Manchester City, again, the main players not available is Jesus. I think that's which looks good for those who pick Mahrez. So we were always worried that Pep seemed to be favouring Mahrez for CL games, but because of Jesus not being around as an option, Mahrez comes in. So here's the thing with City. There's been a lot of talk that KDB will not play because is unlikely to play because he needs to be saved for the Champions League. But question is does he really need to be saved? First thing, Sporting Lisbon, let's be fair, isn't one of the top tier teams in terms of where the Champions League was concerned. But obviously for Manchester City, the main
Friday.
the main plan is to win the Champions League. If there's one thing missing from Pep Guardiola's cabinet, it's the Champions League trophy. Having said that, is KDB the best player to pick for the Champions League? We're not so sure. We saw last week against Branford, he was really quiet, and we got lucky that he scored the goal.
Right. Okay.
I got happy, and obviously again he ended up with 3 bonus points as well with the goal. But I'm not certain that I want to sell KDB. I feel like it can be risk, and Norwich at home is a bit more tougher. So let's see. It's a tough one.
I think they also history like Man City lost at Norwich, right? I think so. The 1 or 2 years back. I think
Yes,
so.
they did. They did lose. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, While,
yeah,
while, while you think that historically it will not worry
yeah, yeah.
Pep Guardiola too much, but
Mm-hmm.
again, but you're right. He has to be wary of
Yep,
the fact that they
yep.
can cause an upset.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let's move on to next game. Burnley versus Liverpool. Like mentioned, Burnley will have double game week upcoming. And also Liverpool, a lot of managers would like to know status of Salah and also Mane for this week.
Okay, quickly on Burnley. So Burnley, who people after last week weren't really considering this week, but then because of the double game week that was announced, so Burnley players are becoming an people are starting to look at Burnley assets simply to prepare for following game weeks, if not for this game week. So the main thing is Cornet being fine, Cornet being ready. So which is a big because the Burnley are relying on both Cornet and Weghorst. Okay, it's clear that those are your two attacking. So if you wanted to pick FPL attacking assets, it has to be between those two. The defensive lineup is also a consideration, but maybe not against this, not this game week. Liverpool. So Mane is back in training, so he should be fine. However, Liverpool now, if it's a bit more, it may become a bit more challenging to pick up Liverpool players other than Salah and Jota, because Luis Diaz had his Premier League debut uh, midweek and he did well. So it was good to watch him play, and he got into some good positions. He was quite attacking, quite further forward. It's just that he didn't have a goal, but he will definitely be a good addition to the flanks for Liverpool. So for Liverpool, we don't really have that many options in the flanks because we got a lot of central midfield. We got Alex Ox, Minamino, so they're not really suitable for playing on the flanks. They're more in the midfield or attacking midfield side. So it'll be a bit tough, even though I'm a bit wary. And let's not forget that Liverpool also need to manage the team for the Champions League. Yeah, I think people aren't worried about Salah because they think that Salah will just play whenever, as long as he's fit, he'll play. So he doesn't have the same risk that attached to players like KDB. Yeah, but everyone else, there may be a challenge there.
Okay. Since Jota have been uh, producing crucial goals for Liverpool, do you think he's the first choice up front? Salah, Mane, and Jota. Do you think? I feel so.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, we know that Liverpool play Inter Milan
Yeah.
midweek,
Yep. Yep.
right? Yeah, so but with his two goals, it looks he scored brace in the FA Cup as well, and now he scored in the Premier League. So he will definitely be a. One cannot argue. I think that he's definitely a first choice player now. If he wasn't before, he's definitely come in, and has proved his worth. So yeah, he's definitely, and I have to admit, he's probably now the better pick over Firmino, for example. However, the first choice tag comes with that worry that if they need him for the Champions League, then
Yep.
that's where they'll prioritize that. And we've seen during this season that he does get subbed off. Yeah,
Yep.
so he has that risk as well compared to say Salah.
Okay.
So yeah, but of course, if you have him now, no reason for you to sell him.
Yep.
If you don't have him, yeah, then you could bring him in. But of
Yep.
course, bearing in mind the Manchester United Brighton double up,
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
me not having him, I'm
Something.
worried.
Yep. Yep.
But
Something.
but the question here is, sorry, I guess the question here for this one is that a lot of debate going on whether or not to bring Salah in.
Yep.
And
Yep.
personally, I'm not sure I want to for this game week because I feel
Okay.
that Burnley, I don't want to underestimate Burnley. They have been improving of late, and their morale is definitely up. Although they
Okay.
haven't got wins, I think they've scored three. they got 3 draws back to back, and
Yep.
and one of them was against Manchester United. So Burnley has improved.
And also they got draw against
Sorry.
they got a draw against Arsenal away also. That's a good result.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it's just that if I'm bringing in Salah for this week, I'd want him to be explosive, and we saw that's possible against the last week when he came in as a sub against Brentford. But I do feel that Burnley are gonna be really stubborn, and I expect Salah probably will score, but I want him to do more if I want to pick him this week.
Sorry, I have a network issue just now.
You just froze for a while, but you're fine now.
Yep. Okay. All right. We move on.
Yep.
Next game, Newcastle versus Villa. Newcastle, to be fair, they are definitely on high after last game week, getting a win against Everton. But for Villa, it's a three-tier, and I feel this will be an exciting game. So, what's the latest news for both game, man?
Yeah, so for Newcastle, I think the biggest thing for them is that Trippier having a bit of a calf issue during the win against Everton. But I think that I don't think he's going to play. Yeah, so the fact that he says he doesn't think it's a long-term injury, so it's a short-term injury issue. So most likely he won't start for this one,
That's how you look at it.
which will hurt Newcastle. Okay, on the record, I'd just like to say that this is one the match Newcastle Everton was the one that I strongly expected Everton win, and Newcastle won instead. So I underestimated Newcastle. I'll have to admit that. However, this one will be a problem because with Trippier not going to play, and even on the other side, Matt Target won't play either because his parent club is Villa, and which means Manquillo will come in. So or maybe Damet.
Maybe Matt Ritchie, I'm not sure whether he's available.
Yeah, but he plays a bit more. Yeah, I think they'll probably want to play him a bit forward now, and even and the problem with him is that he's very bad defensively, and this is why because of these problems, I felt that it's going to be a problem to face Villa. Okay, so on the Villa side, the heroes of last game week, and the problem for those who were. I mean, a lot of us were transferring players with double game weeks in mind, like the Manchester United, Brighton, and the fact that even in game week 26, Villa doesn't have any double game weeks either, and that's why not many people were considering them last game week. And Coutinho and Ramsey, gosh, they really, put into brought themselves as strong FPL options. And it's people to consider even though they don't have a double game week, because this week they face Newcastle and next week they face Leeds. So these teams are both capable of conceding lots. In terms of fitness, Bailey's not going to be ready. Traore is not sure, but of course the main people, Coutinho, Ramsey, Watkins, is fine. The main
is Buenda might not be ready.
Brenda might not be ready. So how will Ings play with Watkins? Yeah, because Ings didn't start last game week. So if he starts this game week, then he's in for a shout. Then other than that, everyone else is fit.
I got a question, Min. Like you mentioned, we are overlooking this Aston Villa asset because of all these double game week matches. Should we switch our attention and bring in Aston Villa assets, the likes like Coutinho and Ramsey, instead of Rafinha?
Yeah, but I think Aston Villa's attack definitely needs to be considered. It's clear that they do still seem to have issues in defense. You know, they have some lapses, but their attacking lineup is strong. And although it's frustrating that for holders of Watkins, because he wasn't involved last game week despite Villa scoring 3 goals, but Villa's attack under Gerrard there's a lot of potential there. And yeah, I would, for example, for this week, because I have 2 3 transfers, so I'm thinking that if I bring in Cristiano Ronaldo for in the forward for my second transfer, it will most likely be for Aaron Ramsey. So you got a cheap 4.7 option who's scoring goals
Yep.
at a decent clip. I think he
Maybe
scored.
because
I,
I think maybe because of his price, man, that people are thinking like he's not worth it to put into our first 11 to play every game. Maybe that is
yes,
another thing that played
yeah,
in
and
our
the
mind.
problem is and the problem is for last week because there are people who had Aaron Ramsey but had him on the bench. So 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 simply because over the more expensive players he didn't play.
Yep.
But but on his record right now, since Gerrard came in the past 6 matches, he has got 3 double-digit scores in the last 6 matches. So that's a really major alert there for a strong FPL player if you wanted to pick him. And at a 4.7, it's almost a shoe in.
Yep. Understand? But for me, the even though it's tempting to bring these players in, I might not do it because of paying attention to these double game week matches. But to
Yeah,
be fair,
yeah.
we are definitely not looking at this asset because of that only, not because they are not a good asset to bring in.
Yeah.
Okay. Next game, Spurs versus Wolves. I think for Wolves, Bruno Fernandez is not having his press conference yet, but we have Antonio Conte giving news for his team.
Yeah. Okay, so for Spurs, Eric Dier is still out, which for me is a big miss for Spurs, which means that Romero and Sanchez will continue to play alongside Davies if they're doing for that 3-4-3 option. That second sentence, the contest says that Son Heung-min and Romero will play despite this being their third start in a week after injury. For me, this is quite worrying for Spurs, because they're not having the options, and the fact that they weren't able to get the result they wanted against Southampton goes
Yep.
to show that the Spurs revolution under Conte isn't smooth sailing at the moment. So they're forced to still, they're not able to rotate to keep the players fit, and not able to sub out early either. So Wolves, they lost 1-0 to Arsenal, but I think they got unlucky there. They could have easily managed to at least get a draw. And Wolves, we've seen that they are the team that can trouble teams like Spurs. And okay, so we don't have any press conferences yet for Wolves, but my understanding is that most of the players are fit. I think he did have a press conference after. He Chan seems to had a setback. Apparently, so he may miss 1 or 2, so he may not be available for this game week. Moutinho, he didn't play against Arsenal. He missed it. He wasn't in the squad. So whether or not he'll be back, I'm not sure, but I don't think so. The statement from Lago after the last match was that let's see how he goes in the next couple of days. For me, that shows that he's not gonna be ready yet. Yeah.
So Son did scored. he came back and scored a goal against Southampton. Looks like he put himself in the prospect for double game week. And how do you feel in terms of Spurs asset, Kane and also Son? Should we really consider?
Okay, so it's just worrying for me because I really expected, even though I didn't have it, I was so worried that Kane would, score a hat trick or even brace against Southampton last game week. So I worried that if my rank dropped, it would be because I didn't have him. But he didn't, and despite scoring 2 goals and an assist in the FA Cup, he ended up not producing anything against Southampton. Now Southampton aren't exactly the strongest defensive unit these days. They did concede 2 goals, but in the end they still lost. Spurs still lost. So I'm not as excited as I was, and I feel that this game week may not be the right game week to bring in Spurs players because Wolves are quite strong defensive. Yeah, so if I had to choose between a double game week player and a Spurs player, I go for the double game week option.
Okay, let's go to our. I think this is a final match for this game week. Leicester versus West Ham. Just to say about Zuma situation, like we mentioned, I mean that last week we expect Zuma not play because of his cat incident, viral video, and so on. And then there's a lot of pressure and also criticism from outside and journalists and so on, even though affecting sponsorship. Moyes, at this press conference coming out, says he stand by his decision that he definitely wants to play Zuma. So I'm not sure, but what is the current situation for West Ham? And you could share. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll quickly go with Leicester first, even though they don't have a press conference. But pretty much the main players the main players out is Jamie Vardy, Castagna, and Evans, and Fofana as well. So those are your main players who are out. But Leicester have been going on without them for a while now, so it doesn't make a difference. For West Ham, we saw Fabianski come back last game week, so he should be fine. And they're almost to their strongest lineup already. They're back to their strongest lineup with Zuma in. That's back to the strongest lineup. Looks like Kufal has successfully overthrown Ben Johnson again after Ben Johnson threatened to take that spot. So Kufal has secured that spot again. So Susek, Rice, Bowen, Benrahma, Antonio should be okay. It's just Lanzini over Fornals is the question here. Okay, before I talk about the Kurt Zuma situation, one thing to bear in mind with West Ham, hang on a minute, is that, so let me just open up my screen here. Okay, so West Ham are fighting for the Champions League spot at this point. Yeah, and the win against Watford put them into even better contention. And West Ham have, after this match, they play Newcastle. So there's some options there. Unfortunately, they're not involved in the double game week, so which makes them less enticing. Okay, so for Kurt Zuma, so he played, and then there was a lot of outrage on the internet going on, saying that he shouldn't have been allowed to play. There'll be a lot of fan backlash. I would say that fan backlash is fan backlash, but they won against Watford. Zuma was playing and they won. I felt that them winning the game was where those fans were concerned is just on long term wise you have a more impact. Right now the immediate thing is outrage. However, in terms of the business side, it is a worry, and I think some of the, not just the sponsorship for Zuma, I think quite a few of that have pulled out already, but with West Ham, the relationships with West Ham. So it is something that they need to manage and decide. And because there is a worry, if some lucrative sponsorship deals with West Ham, they decide to pull out, they feel that it's not in their best interest, then it becomes a problem. So they need to decide on that. And I'm sure West Ham are working really hard to reassure those sponsors in terms of what they're doing, in terms of the education on Zuma, and so they need to balance that out. However, for me, I really thought he was going to be suspended based on all the outrage. However, at the end of the day, results matter, and I think it'd be more of a backlash if, let's say, West Ham do start suspending Zuma and then they start losing the next. If they lose 6 matches in a row, without Zuma, then that question will pop up. Was it the right decision not to play Zuma? Yeah, because at the end of the day, football results matter.
So we expect Zuma to play lah, right? This week, and not Diop. I have him.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. And the other thing is, yeah, Zuma should play, and they are looking good. They are looking good for the second half of the season. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we already concluded all the team news, Min. Let's go to the captain pick for this week. Although it's obvious, we run through.
Yep.
So this the votes coming out from Fantasy Football Scout for Gameweek 25. We can see here a lot of managers has been voting. Bruno is the captain pick for this week with 41%, something like that. And the second is Ronaldo. So we can see the Manchester United asset has been considered as the for captain armband for this week. Then Salah and also KDB, like you see there, and another one they here from Manchester United also. So what do you think, Min? Is it a straight fight between Bruno and Ronaldo, or should we consider other teams that play in single game week?
Okay, so we saw in Game Week 24 that the single game week options were the better picks over the double game week options. So the question is, will this be the same? Because again, it's just two teams having double game weeks, just like Game Week 24. Obviously, Manchester United and Brighton seem to be stronger options compared to Burnley and Watford. So I would probably go back the safe play and still go for a double game week player.
Okay,
yeah.
fair.
It's just a question whether it's Fernandez or Ronaldo. Firstly, is there a risk either of them not starting one game? I don't think so. I feel that both players should start, and especially with Ronaldo, after he was benched last game, it should put him okay to start the next 2 games. If anything, he may be benched for the following game week. In preparation for the Champions League. So yeah, I would still back. The thing is, there's no Brighton option as a popular pick here.
Would you go for Brighton option if you want?
I'm considering it.
Okay.
On the basis of Manchester United.
Trossard, is it?
Yeah, like Trossard, or yeah, if Trossard's probably the only pick I might consider, unless I really risk someone like Dunk and bring him in, but I don't think so. But explosive option,
we can see here. This is the favorite picks from managers. I think there's no surprise. These are the 2 assets to be considered. If you ask me, man, if let's say I only have one of these assets, Bruno or Rondo, I'm happily will captain them. You do not need to worry whether you need to have both. But if you have both, then it's fine for me. You have option. But if you have only one asset, I think it is fair between them. I think it's not that far apart that Bruno or Ronaldo has advantage. I know Ronaldo might have penalty kick, but of late he's not been his minute has been managed. But just to remind everyone or refresh mind for managers, we still remember Bruno producing 23 points in game week 22. So he's capable of that. And where I remind, Bruno is actually the players last season. Okay, he's been the best player for Manchester United, and and this season it's just because Ronaldo coming in, and that's why we are not consider him anymore. Tengok Hafiz Afos has said he brought in both. He is actually top of our mini league main. So he's really doing aggressively for this week.
So I don't know if you have time to answer this, Hafiz, the other Hafiz. There's still which one are you captaining then? So obviously we've both got to captain one of them. So if you have time before we end, which is very quickly, let us know who you're going to captain. Curious.
Okay. Do you want to take a question from Brian?
What's his question? Sorry, I don't have that open. Whoa.
Yeah, you have KDB. I have KDB. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to sell KDB, it has to be for. I feel that it has to be for Bruno. To be fair, both teams, Spurs and United, haven't convinced me. But Spurs have the double game week in 26. Manchester United have it this week. So long term or short term, I'll probably go for Bruno.
Yep, I'll do that too. I agree with Azmin. Next, Rakat FPL says Salah, captain. Yes, if you have Salah, I don't think you should be scared atau takut. Rakat FPL boleh captain dia. I think he could go double digit easily against Burnley. No worries. Do you agree or not?
I disagree. I think he's I think you might want to have him, but I think his potential it's better to go for the double game week players.
Right, so Afos already answered your question. He might probably captain Bruno.
Bruno C, Ronaldo VC. Wow, okay. Well, it's a double game week, so I guess the chances of either play disappearing for both matches is not likely. But okay, thanks.
All right. Let's go to just quickly run through the traffic transfer for this week. Okay, top transfer this week transfer for this week is not for double game week players. It's Coutinho, because after he scored like 16 points last week. Then Salah, even though he doesn't have 2 games. Then Ramsey. Wow, people are eyeing for single game week. And then Mope and Bruno. Are you surprised with this movement, or you feel because there are a lot of managers are not targeting Manchester United? I don't know, or maybe they already have them inside the team lah. Maybe that is
most likely because they already have. However, does that mean a lot of people already have Cristiano Ronaldo in the team, and they're bringing Mope instead? So Mope is the top double game week transfer this week so far. So I didn't expect that at all. It's definitely not what I thought was going to be the case.
Yeah.
But there it goes on the City asset, so it goes to show that this wasn't what is despite them not having a double game week, but because of their strong performances, they have that possibility of outscoring those the double game week players, not just this week but next week as well, given that their fixtures are Newcastle and Leeds. So I think it's valid. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we can see there who is funding this move. Bernardo is the top one going out, and Mount. Okay, I think they have been, but Kane out. I think most probably Kane for Ronaldo. Maybe that's why they are doing that. I still feel Kane can for double game week next week. So I'm not too sure whether that's the right move. Antonio and Smith Rowe, I think yes.
I don't know about Smith. I'm surprised that Smith Rowe is being sold because Martinelli just got a red card, meaning that Smith Rowe is going to play. Antonio, he's really he's leaking owners at this point. Because he's again West Ham won, again Antonio wasn't involved. So Bowen is definitely the West Ham player carrying the flag for West Ham FPL. Okay, so Kane, I don't know, because at the end of the day, Kane may be the biggest highest value transfer player out, but if you look at on the left, most of the transfers are for midfield, so they're funding a midfield transfer rather than a forward transfer from the looks of it.
Okay, just question for you. Say, you have Kane. Would you do Kane to Ronaldo this week? Because their price is more or less the same bracket.
On a 1-for-1?
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay. I think so. I also might not do that, but I won't blame you if, let's say, you feel that Ronaldo can be more expressive, or maybe you want to captain Manchester United asset. So I'm not too sure about that move. That's all.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
Bernardo, yeah, that's not surprising. As obviously the rotation risk, and I have to admit that even though I had kept him, it feels like his role as attacking has reduced in the past few, especially with all the other players fit, Mahrez firing, Foden around, but KDB taking up an advanced role himself. So yeah, I can see that why Bernardo is being sold, and I'm probably going to be one of those. I'm going to join that stat this week.
Okay. Let's go to our team pick. We already over 1 hour, man. So
have we? Gosh.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so can I share my screen then?
Yep. Proceed.
Hold on. Okay. So sorry, I lost my mic. Okay. So the main changes I'm looking to sell is Bernardo and Firmino. I feel those are too risky to keep now, both due to rotation issues. Firmino, I had him simply because I was filling in not having Salah, so I thought he was a valid option he was at AFCON, but looks like in the stretch, Jota was the better pick. Yeah, I have to admit that. So Bernardo and Firmino are going to be my transfers out. So the question is, will they be to fund Bruno, or will they be to fund Cristiano Ronaldo? So if I were to bring in Cristiano Ronaldo, then most likely Bernardo will become Ramsey. Yeah. However, if Bernardo was Bruno, then Firmino could become Mope. So it's a choice of having either 3 double game week players or 2. Yeah. So I haven't decided yet, and it's tough. KDB I'm definitely keeping. But I'm probably put the captaincy on either Bruno or CR7 of either one, and not Trossard. And the main reason is simply away. Manchester United at home, I feel are just going to be stronger.
Okay, I like both move, man. To be fair, both move is interesting, but the Bruno and Mope, both playing double game with this week, could actually be my choice. That's what I'm thinking. And Captain Bruno. Yeah, you're on mute, man.
Over CR7 Ramsey.
I feel so. That's my first reaction.
Okay.
Yep.
So that okay. All right.
So so your bench will be Keane and Livramento, just in case KDB and I don't know, DCL, you're confident he will play, right?
No. But I feel in light of Everton's issues, again they lost again. I feel that if he's borderline, then he will start. I think Lampard has to. I know that Lampard has options like Dele Alli and Van der Beek. Yeah, but Ali didn't do much. He was so slow last game, so I don't feel that he will have the impact. And only one of them will play, and I think DCL will come in if he's fit.
Yeah. If let's say I'm Lampard, I definitely will rush in TCL, he's at least 70% fit. I think I will play him because they are desperate for points, to be fair.
Yeah. And Leeds do concede goals. So yeah.
Okay, let's go to my team. This is my team. It's from last game week. I have currently 2 double game week players playing twice. De Gea in goals. Okay. TAA, Cancelo, and Digny, my backline, all I realized all playing away games this week.
Yeah.
If Cancelo, I don't know, Pep decided to rest him against Norwich, Diop might not play, right, man? So Livramento might come in, or if let's say both are not playing, then I will have 0 points. Currently, I have KDB, Bowen, Jota, and Rafinha, and then King, Antonio, and Ronaldo, which is actually having my armband right now. In my bench, actually, Gray will definitely out for this game as per Lampard press conference. I have 2 free transfer. My thinking right now is actually to change KDB to Bruno and roll one of my transfer to next week and prepare for a bigger double game week next week. So that is my thinking. If I decided to bring in Bruno in, I think the captain armband is between them. Most probably would be to Bruno. That's my plan. I think that's my plan all along. Okay.
All right.
The other thing that I can do, but it's a single game week lah. Is Salah in and Gray out for Ramsey, like you mentioned. But I do 2 transfer, so I'm not too sure on that. I think I want to keep just in case this week. You never know, right? Tiba-tiba Salah injured, then at least next week I can prepare myself for another Liverpool asset, whether Mane or Robertson and so on. If that thing happen, that thing could happen, right, mate?
Yeah. So but KDB to Salah is the main. KDB to Bruno is the most likely.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, most likely that what I'll do and save my transfer for another double game week, which I think we really need to plan for the next few games. I think this is the defining moments for our season. I believe so, especially in game week 26.
Yeah, definitely. And then so have you had any thoughts as to when you're going to use your chips?
Okay. Currently, even though we have Burnley in double game week 27, we play twice. Still, my plan is if I'm doing this, so what happened next week? I will do 3 transfer and taking 4 -4, which I will bring in Salah. It could be Ronaldo for Lacazette, Salah for Bruno, and De Gea for Ramsdale. To be fair, Arsenal asset is that the one I'm targeting. Martinelli will not be in my picture anymore. Not sure whether Lacazette is a good option, but at least another asset. I could not get Saka. If I want to do, I can, but I will take a -8. So I'm not too sure on that. And then what will happen after that? Game week 27, Liverpool, Arsenal, I think Leicester and Chelsea will blank. I think so, for League Cup final, Carabao Cup final. Then maybe I will use free hit chip because I have like 3 Liverpool asset and 2 Arsenal asset. So that's my current thinking. But anything can happen for the next few weeks. That's what my plan is for now.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think it's we really need to plan ahead and decide. And deciding which single game week player will be returned more than a double game week player is really, really important. I feel it is possible this season that they can score. You just need to figure out who are more likely to.
All right, man. Just quick question from Rakan FPL. My friend Rakan FPL, thank you. Actually, he's also promoting our channel inside his YouTube channel, man. So thank you for your support, bro. So to answer your TA
Thank you.
captain, like we mentioned, tadi kita pun ada mention on Captain Pitts. I think I don't know whether you're a Liverpool fan, but to be fair, your video very nice. Putting all these game week option and chip strategy. TA captain, I prefer if let's say you have any Manchester United asset, even though if let's say you ada De Gea, maybe De Gea can be a better option captaining for this game week instead of TA. If you have Salah, maybe he. So
Yeah.
I don't know about you, man.
It's sorry, it's really hard. It's a really interesting question because TA has the potential to explode, and I just feel that Burnley's improvement is getting there. So I feel they're going to blunt Liverpool's attack to an extent, and again, Liverpool are not playing at Anfield, so I think Burnley at home will be a bit tough.
Okay, tak apa, bro. Kau tunggu next week kau captain TA sebab Liverpool main double game. Okay, that's why I support.
Captain TAA, you mean?
Next week sebab Liverpool playing the game week if he wants to think of that lah.
Yep. Next week might be a better option. There's some decent matchups there as well.
Alright, I think we wrap up this our show, man. Thank you for everyone joining this session. Before we drop off, do like our video, give us a thumbs up, and also subscribe to our FPL Jedi show, and continue to support us. Min, your last word?
Yeah. So again, what Hafiz mentioned earlier was that the importance of planning, and really you have to look and decide where we want to play our chips. If you feel chips instead of the hit long term might be the better way to go, then that's it. And that free hit chip is really, really crucial because then you can plan your week around the chip, meaning that you, for example, if you're free hitting on game week 28, then you can plan your transfers for game week 27 and then skip that week and go to game week 29 because the team will stay the same. So I feel that's really important. So make sure you identify where you want to place it. We haven't really covered as ideas and strategy because there are actually a lot of videos out there where already cover it. But do your research and try to find out where's the best. Each team has a different play to go. So okay. All right.
Okay, good. Thank you, man. Remember, all managers, our deadline will be at 7 p.m. tonight, so don't miss it. May the force be with you. Take care and bye-bye.